Good morning and welcome to another episode of Game Developer Roulette, a show where I stake my livelihood on whether I can create and sell video games to sustain my family. I'm your host Thomas Stewart, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 B's of good game design. And this comes from a story that might surprise you. So dumb. So the 3 B's of good game design actually come from a paradigm that has been in my head for like 30 minutes now. So it's made a huge impact on my life, and I actually just thought it up while I was in the shower. So let me talk you through what the 3 B's of good game design is. So I recently created a pre-release version of my game, and I sent that to some playtesters so that they could give me some feedback. And primarily, these were people that were a part of my Patreon community. So I posted it on my Patreon page, and I sent it to some people, and I had 3 different groups take the game, play it a bit, and then send me some feedback. 2 of those people that playtested my game are also game developers. So they were able to look at it with a critical eye of good game design and execution, and they recorded themselves and sent me a video of them playing the game so that I could see it in real time.
All right, this is Thomas Stewart's game. We're going to be taking this and playing it for the first time live. I'm going to give some developer opinions.
Hey, look at that. Works perfectly fine right off the bat.
Let's see. The controller works. Dude, that loading screen is so dope. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Enter or cross. I'm assuming that might be because I have a PS controller. Ooh, and I get to pick that color as well. I like that. And how do I start?
How do we start? Am I missing it?
Oh, that dash feels really good. This is the coolest looking level so far by far. I appreciate that I didn't need a tutorial. Cool, you can kill yourself in this area. I'm trying not to give you solutions and just talk through my feelings.
Oh, I love the intro. Jeez, they shoot fast. Oh my gosh. Also smooth. Okay, I like how each one slides in separately, and then I also like how when you get the shot, the bullet has a little animation on there. Pretty smooth. Oh, that was brilliant. Oh man, the camera work is sick. I killed myself. I also love the slam down, and the countdown's pretty good.
They were able to take things that they didn't jive with, and they were able to offer some good critiques and suggestions for how to fix it.
The camera zooming there felt incredible. I like the indicators where coins are going to spawn. God, he did such good work with your art. It looks so good! Do I need to use the shield somehow? I don't know how to utilize my shield. It seems like they die to themselves quite a bit.
The dash is like my favorite part of the game. So I definitely like it a lot. Let's go. Oh man, that's the best sound effect too. The bop bop bop. Yeah, his game is looking good, man. It's looking real good.
Oh, I love this level so much. It looks so cool. The polish on the beginning of the game and the end of a round is very, very nice. I like this very simplistic. Like you kept everything very simple, which is huge. Generally, I thought it was pretty quick and easy to figure out. The controls, the UI is clean and simple. The polish on the way in, the way out of it feels really good. I didn't get to use some of the bigger abilities. Maybe that's because I didn't get quite enough money, or maybe they're too expensive.
But the third group of people were my own friends that I had come over to my house, sit on my couch, and play some rounds. And they are not game developers, and they gave me some really good feedback as well, because they don't have the same sort of lens that a game developer would have. They don't have any background of game design. They're just regular people who play video games, played the game like a normal video game player. It was very valuable feedback. So I was thinking through these 3 big playtests that I had, and all of the feedback that I got, and all of the action items that I created. I had a huge to-do list of things that I wanted to address after I looked at these playtests, and it stood out to me that there were 3 major areas that I needed to focus on. And that's what I'm calling the 3 B's of good game design. And they're very vital to the development of any video game, but it wasn't until I was able to look back retrospectively at the playtests that I realized that these are the things that I should be focusing on when developing a video game. So let me walk you through what those things are. And the 3 B's of good game design are Bears, Beats, and Battlestar Galactica. The first of the 3 B's of good game design is bugs. And this was something that was very apparent in the playtests that I sent. These people who had never played my game before were able to interact with things and hit buttons that I would never even think to press at certain times, and so a lot of bugs popped up.
I don't think he did anything. Was he stupid?
I'm not sure what's happening here.
Did I die?
And it was great for me to be able to identify those bugs, squash them, so that the whole playthrough experience is not inundated with all of these jarring, glaring bugs. I want this piece of software that I'm developing to be foolproof, which means I need to lock down the controls, I need to make sure that the timing is right, I need to make sure that my code is clean enough, that things should not be happening when they shouldn't be happening. And there were a lot of bugs that came up during the playtest that I jotted down, and I was able to tackle them super quickly. But keeping my game bug-free is one of my primary goals before I release the game. So it was really good to get it into people's hands and be able to fix a lot of the bugs that I had trouble playtesting as a solo developer. All right, the second of the two B's is what I call, I forgot it already, balance. And this is something that's really interesting because there's multiple facets of what you can balance in my game. You can balance the speed of the player, the speed of the projectiles, the level sizes, the amount of coins that players can accrue, the price of the upgrades in the shop, the difficulties of the different AI settings. So you have easy, medium, hard, and very hard, and all of those have different attributes that make it increasingly more difficult to fight against. So for example, the hard difficulty AI has 2 hit points of health, and they start with a random power-up.
Your very hard bots are very hard.
So there's all of these different things that I need to balance. And for the most part in the playtest, movement speed and the AI difficulty, it seemed pretty good. But the glaring, obvious balancing mistake that I had made is the pricing of the power-ups in the shop.
I have no coins. So it looks like the whole shop changed. And now I can't order anything. I can't get anything right now. 4 for +1 bullet. Sheesh.
Out of all 3 playtests that I picked through, never once did anybody ever have enough coins to afford one of the premium power-ups.
I can't afford it because I'm poor. No power-ups here. Alright, still got 4. That works. What are we gonna buy? That's expensive. They're expensive. Whoa, this went up in price? Inflation, everyone.
So the power-ups are priced according to their rarity and their power. So the 2 major ones at the top are the teleportation projectile and the automated turret. So those things are more expensive than the rest, and I never saw anybody get to use them. And that's because they were so expensive and people were not collecting enough coins on the level to be able to buy those power-ups. So there are some other things that I need to tweak, but one of the big balancing things that I wanted to address was the pricing in the shop and the frequency that coins spawn on the map. So I actually ended up going both ways. I lowered the price and I increased the frequency of coin spawning on the levels. So now it's a lot more fun to visit the shop because you have a lot more spending power and you can buy different combinations of upgrades. Okay, and the third B of good game design that I came up with is how boring is your game? And this was very obvious to me when I took a controller and I put it in someone's hands and I said, all right, go play, tell me what's fun, what's not fun, and they would get to playing, and it was immediately obvious when people would enjoy it or laugh or people were confused. And that's something that as a developer, you can't test yourself. You can't test if your own game is fun. Like you might enjoy it, but you play it in a very particular way. It's different than what the average player would play it like. So all in all, everybody said that the game was fun. There were some things that were confusing and some things that I need to address, but all of their feedback was relatively good and very good constructive criticism for how I can make the game even more fun. Part of that feedback, which makes a lot of sense, is that they wanted not just a free-for-all mode, but a teams mode so that you could join up on different teams and fight maybe 2-on-2 or another sequence of 1-on-3 or whatever. So yeah, bugs, balance, and boring. Those were the major 3 categories that I witnessed when I was looking at all of these different playtests, and those are things that I want to bring into my next project from the get-go so that I can make sure to keep build of the game really solid and easy to play, bug-free, one that is balanced well or at least has configuration options so that it's really easy to tweak values without having to go into the code of the game and find where everything's located and tweak magic numbers. And then boring. Video games are supposed to be fun, and I think I did a pretty good job. Everybody enjoyed playing my tanks game, but I found some even more ideas from them that bring it to the next level of enjoyment. So I'm excited to start working on that and get those features implemented into the game. So that's it for the 3 Bs of good game design. Thank you for joining me today. The show is not over yet,